Hello everybody, ReverendDrRed here. As everybody knows, this is Memorial Day weekend, but a lot of people use it as an excuse to get drunk or, different recreational activities that people have, and people don't really understand the true meaning behind Memorial Day. Memorial Day is supposed to be where we take the day and remember all those who have gave the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms. We are supposed to be using Memorial Day as a way of remembering all of the soldiers that have died in time of combat, in battle, so that we can have the freedoms that we cherish so much. We're supposed to be remembering all of the soldiers, starting all the way back to the founding fathers who have fought for our freedoms and broke free from England, all the way up to now, who have lost their lives in wars fighting for the freedoms that we share today. What a lot of people don't realize is that these freedoms, not these men and women, have fought and died to ensure we had, or have. We are losing. And we are losing them at an accelerating rate each and every day. For anybody who doesn't believe me that we are losing our freedoms, or the fact that they are hanging on by a thread right now, just using relatively current events within the past few years, you have numerous executive orders by both Bush and Obama. The key two executive orders I would like you to pull up and read for yourself so you can see the content in these acts, in the Patriot Act and the National Defense Authorization Act. I want you to see for yourselves what these say. The Patriot Act and the National Defense Authorization Act. One of the two biggest acts that I can think of right now that I would like you to read in its entirety and really understand the language that is being spoken in those documents. I mean, the executive orders that gives the President of the United States ultimate authority. And then realize that there was an executive order that was passed by Obama that gives him the right, whether it be peacetime or not, peacetime or wartime, doesn't matter, he can declare martial law. Under martial law, our Constitution is suspended and the head of FEMA takes over. President Obama is the first president in United States history since the founding of FEMA that at the same time as he's the President of the United States, he is also the head of FEMA. Which means, if he is to declare martial law, he now has 100% dictatorial authority over this country. And even if you want to figure, well, him nor any other president will declare martial law, Obama's good for his word. Let's realize back when he was a senator in 2008, he said that he does not condone same-sex marriage. He believes marriage is between a man and a woman. Now, in the year 2012, he says that same-sex marriage is perfectly okay. And let's realize that through Bush and even more so now through Obama, the TSA is taking away our freedoms. They are groping little children. And there's the fact that they're indoctrinating our children in the school districts, in the government schools. They're telling us what we can and cannot eat. They're having raids on households that have containers of raw milk. The government went to these establishments that delivered raw milk or farmed raw milk and got the customers list and went in armed and confiscated the raw milk. Then there was this assassination of a certain breed of pigs. And there's the fact that all across the country, people are being told they can't wear their cross in work, where it's showing. And they can't put a cross on their front lawn. They can't hold a Bible study. You know, it's on numerous different levels we're losing our freedoms. So I ask you for this Memorial Day weekend to please think of all the freedoms that our founding fathers fought for and died for. And every soldier since then has fought for and died for, to ensure we can live in a free world and that our children can grow up in a free world and realize what is happening right underneath our noses, right in front of our eyes. All you need to do to see this is open your eyes and open your ears and take a look around. Don't believe the mainstream news media just because they say something to be true. Look into it for yourself. See it for yourself. It's all right there. And unless we realize that these men and women, since the founding of America, have literally put their lives on the line, and many of them lost their lives to ensure our freedom today. And unless we realize the constitutional rights and the freedoms that they have given us via the United States Constitution to ensure our freedoms, and unless we act on those freedoms, and unless we act on those constitutional rights to keep our freedoms, we're going to lose our freedom. We're going to become a third world nation. We're no longer going to be the United States of America. We're going to be the United Socialist States of America. We're going to be a part of a one world government under the rule of a totalitarian dictatorship. And everything that those men and women for the past 200 some odd years have fought and died for will be for naught. You understand that? Everything that our founding fathers, all the way up to your brother, your sister, your father, your mother, or you yourself, if you were in the military, have fought for, and many have died for, will be for nothing unless we do what we can now to keep those freedoms and hold on to those freedoms. Memorial Day is not supposed to be a day to be used as an excuse to go out drinking and partying. It's supposed to be a day to remember those who have died, those who have lost their lives, to give us the freedoms that we share today. There are many a family in this country that while you're out partying it up and getting drunk on Memorial Day, they're spending the day in a cemetery over a loved one's grave. Their wives, their husbands, their brothers, their sisters, or even their aunts or their uncles or their grandparents' grave, because they lost their loved one fighting for our freedom that we are watching being taken from us bit by bit. So I ask you all to please before you take it upon yourself to gather up at a party and drink, and use today as an excuse to get drunk, think about the men and women who have died and what they died for. And then open your eyes and look out the window and take a look at what's happening to the world today. And ask yourself, if these things keep on happening, if things keep on going where they're going, where is America going to be in another 4 years? Another 10 years? Another 20 years? $20 years from now? Just 4 years from now? If things keep on going where they're going, would all those men and women who lost their lives fighting for our freedom really have been worth it? Or another 4 years from now, would them losing their lives for our freedom have been for nothing? Because another 4 years from now, we will be completely stripped of all of our freedoms. And we will be living in a totalitarian dictatorship rather than a free republic. Just all I'm asking is that you think about that. If things keep on going the way they are right now, where will we be in 4 years? And if those men and women that have died since America's founding were to come back to life and look at America 4 years from now, when they say that their legacy left behind, that they died for a good cause, and be glad because their deaths from the battlefield kept our freedoms? Or are they going to look at America 4 years from now and start crying because they died to ensure our freedom? They gave it their all. They gave up their tomorrows so we can have ours. And the America they'll be seeing 4 years from now will not be a free America. Which scenario do you honestly feel is going to be the scenario that's going to play out? I would like to believe that 4 years from now, all the dead soldiers can look at America and be proud because the freedoms they fought for, we still have. And we are still fighting each and every day to hold on to those freedoms. I would love to believe that. I want to see that. But the way things are going right now, I fear that if all dead soldiers were to come back 4 years from now, they're going to be crying. And they're going to be upset. Because the freedoms they died to ensure we would have will be gone. Every last one of them. And it's getting to the point where students are being told that they can't say anything against Obama because it's treason. Since when is it treason to speak your mind about anybody, regardless their position, in government or otherwise? We do have a little thing called freedom of speech. Or is that officially gone too? So over the decades, they've been berating against that as well, attacking our freedom of speech. And we are about to look at the extinction of our freedom of speech unless we use it right now today in a major uproar that we will not allow our freedoms to be taken from us. We will not allow all the men and women who have died in the battlefield for our freedom to be for nothing. That's all I want to say, ladies and gentlemen. It's probably one of my shortest videos, but I don't understand where this country's going. I don't understand the mindset of the people in this country nowadays. I originally thought it was a generational thing, because I was the odd one out in my generation when I was in school. But the more I woke up to what's really going on, the more I realized it's not a generational thing. They've been doing this for decades. It's just that my generation fell for all the lies, or at least the majority of us did. And every generation underneath me, all younger generations, are falling for it even harder. They're being indoctrinated even harder. And they're falling for it. They're no longer being taught that we have freedom. They don't even discuss the Constitution. When I was in school, I was taught the United States Constitution. I was taught about the independence in 1776 as early as the first grade. Now there's children as high up in the 6th grade that don't even know what the United States Constitution says. They don't know about our Bill of Rights. They don't know about America's true founding in 1776. They don't know because not only are their parents not mentioning it to them, but the schools aren't teaching it anymore. The schools are rewriting history. The government has rewritten history and made it the mandatory curriculum for the schools. They're even teaching homosexuality is a perfectly normal alternate lifestyle. And what has this country come to? So please, if you cherish your freedoms, and if you have children or want to have children in the future, and you want those children to grow up in a free world, and their children to grow up in a free world, etc. and so on, then please, before that very last little bit of thread that our freedoms are hanging from right now snaps off and we'll lose our freedoms forever, let's grab onto our freedom and let's fight this tyranny. And let's do what Memorial Day was meant for. Let's use it to remember men and women who have died to ensure our freedom today, tomorrow, and forever. Memorial Day isn't a party day. It's a very sad day for America. It's a day of remembrance for all the lives that were lost. And please, think about how many families are going to be gathering and taking trips to cemeteries where they have loved ones that were killed in war. Because their loved one died, fighting for your freedom. Instead of remembering them on Memorial Day, to drink. I don't understand you people. You're literally taking your freedoms for granted. Yeah. You're literally taking your freedoms for granted. And in so doing, we are literally watching our freedoms being taken away. I don't want to see our freedoms gone. Not that there's men and women that fought to keep our freedoms. That's why they fought. That's why they gave up their lives on the battlefields. So that we wouldn't lose our freedom. I just watch how many people that don't even understand what world they're supposed to be about. It is really disturbing. It really is. Well, on that note, enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. Don't drive drunk. And before you drink, remember the men and women who died to give you the freedom to get drunk on a day that was meant to be a day of remembrance of them. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.